Okay, so here we are making the salad, the Dr. Gundry approved salad. Let's see, let's turn that obnoxious dehumidifier off. All right, so peeling the carrots, everything in this is going to be Dr. Gundry approved. This is going to take probably an hour, maybe 2 hours. I buy all the vegetables organic, as much as I would hope that they are. So, what do you think about organic? I used to scoff at organic people. I called it a reference that sounded like organic but had nothing to do with food. And after reading or having read for me the Dr. Gundry book, Plant Paradox, I now down 25% of my body weight. I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. I was never hungry. Only 10 pounds a month, so that's less than it's about a third of a pound a day, and it's been 3 years of maintaining. So what I do is just very, very slow. I'm not trying to race, I'm trying to be clean and precise. This salad is gonna have all kinds of goodness in it. This carrot will be a little sweet, but it won't be like putting pineapple in it. Dr. Gundry does not have pineapple in his yes foods. So all of these things will be yes foods. We washed our hands multiple times. I cleaned the sink out so the sink will be good. I don't put any bagged vegetables. So maybe you guys can tell me this microplastics thing. What's up with that? You know, I don't know. Is it real? Is it fake? I have no idea. But I'm just by common sense trying to. I never liked those bagged vegetables. Somebody once told me that they, by federal law, are allowed to put certain chemicals in them. That's why they last for 2 or 3 weeks. So I typically only buy stuff that is fresh, not bagged. Recently I got some arugula for a third the price of the plastic package arugula. But it dawned on me, it's bulk arugula at the co-op. It dawned on me that stuff is probably in a bag and then they put it in the bin. So I don't know how to address or avoid the microplastics, but so you can skip ahead to the next step, but I'm just thinly. Have you ever eaten a salad and they put a giant thick chunk? Nobody likes the thick chunks. They want the thin ones. So I'm just taking my time. It's not about speed. It's about all the flavors exploding in your mouth. I learned to make not this salad, but one like it when I was a kid. Somebody in my family, I'm not going to say who, was constantly dieting. And never worked for that person, but that's all right. What we did is we would just take all the vegetables that we didn't eat because we ate like crap, but we would buy vegetables with good intentions and then not eat them. We'd eat all the junk, and then at the end of the week we wouldn't have any money because the food stamps ran out and the welfare check wasn't coming. So in order to feed us, my mom would go through the refrigerator and just take all the vegetables and just cut them all up. So you'd have anything in there, from zucchini to whatever lettuce was left to bell peppers, etc. And ended up being a pretty good salad. Okay, how do you stop this alarm? All right. And so, yeah, it's just something. People don't make salads anymore. Everybody's so lazy. They just go to the store and they buy a bag of lettuce and they throw some dressing on it, and then they buy a thing of cherry tomatoes and they go, I made a salad. But to me, making a salad is actually cutting the stuff fresh. I'm cutting this stuff in advance, and usually I cut too much, but then I'm going to refrigerate the ingredients as I cut them to keep them cold and fresh. And one thing I did forget was my olives. So probably, I don't use dressing in this salad. What I use for the flavor but the reason I don't need to use dressing is I use a lot of avocado, maybe 1, 2, or 3 avocados, maybe more depending on how big it is. And I use just a little bit of vinaigrette, I guess, or whatever, balsamic vinaigrette if I have it, and lemon, and then goat cheese, I think, the sheep goat cheese, the feta cheese, and that stuff. Those are all kind of flavorful, and some of them are fatty, so you're getting some really good flavors and some really good fat. Yes, I would never make it in a commercial kitchen, so anybody that wants to poke fun at me, they definitely can. So what lettuces did I get? I got some romaine lettuce. I don't get iceberg lettuce as much as I like the texture of it. I found out there's I think the name is phytonutrients. So they say that iceberg lettuce is worthless as far as nutrition to eat. So I just might be good on a burger, but I'm not going to put it in some salad that I'm trying to make as a good salad. Every time I make this salad, I make too much. The funny thing is, the bowl that I use to mix it in is not big enough, and I wish somebody would sell me a 1970s or 80s Tupperware salad bowl, because that's what we used as kids when I was a kid. And that Tupperware salad bowl was huge. We used it going to church functions when we would, bring the salad or whatever. It's one thing if you've got a relative that has weight problems and you ever go out with them in public, you notice they never eat, or they always bring a salad. Oh, you're doing so good. No, just bring what you normally eat, the good stuff. So stick these in the refrigerator. I like to try to keep stuff cold as we're going. Lettuces, romaine lettuce. Got some arugula. What else? I got that red leaf head of lettuce. I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but some people like that. They go, oh, it's radicchio or whatever that. It looks like a piece of iceberg lettuce, but it's red. It might be a bit much flavor-wise for some people. And ideally, this salad's gonna have so many flavors in it. They all kind of blend and hit you at a different time. So the point is, you're gonna have strong stuff in the salad, and so it'll be flavorful, but it won't. One flavor should not overwhelm it. Salt, pepper, spinach. Oh yeah, I got a lot of spinach. And I didn't get the bagged, clean, strained baby spinach because I don't like to eat babies. I got the regular spinach. You know, the whole thing about baby this and baby that. Basically, if you get anything that's baby, typically the baby stuff is not really baby. They just call it baby. It's not young. It's just the stuff that didn't stay on the plant when they were harvesting it. You know, they go through after and they get all the stuff that's fallen off that they could never sell before. They had to sell to a food processor to make into puree, and then they sell it to you at whole paycheck for twice the price. I got arugula. I should have got some red, not radicchio. I don't know what that stuff is called, but anyway. So if you want to know about my knife, it's probably not the best knife, but I like the handle. And if I cut my fingers, that'll be silly, but I mean, I need new glasses. Oh, again, like 4 carrots, okay? So if you're feeding 5 people a carrot, 1 carrot's not a lot of food. You know, if you cook 2 carrots, somebody could easily eat the 2 carrots because when you cook it down, it's all sugar. This is a raw vegetable. They say raw is supposed to be better for you. I'm not going to debate that right now. I imagine some people saying cooking it's better, but I tend to believe that raw is better for you. What else do we have? Radishes are on the Dr. Gundry list. Avocado, lemon for flavor, so that's what makes my juiciness. As far as the nuts, I'm going to put some walnuts in it and some pecans. Some people don't like pecans. I don't tell anybody what's in it. I just let them eat it. And, you know, like me, there's things I think I don't like. I never liked mushrooms, but that's because they were never prepared in a way that to make me like them. As an adult, I was a guest at somebody's house. I was already on the no-fly list because I wouldn't drink their wine that their family made because I don't drink wine. And then the first thing, this lady and her daughter with aprons on cooking in the kitchen for like a half hour while we sat around the table, everybody else drinking wine. First thing she brought out, what ended up being like a 5-course homemade meal in Slovenia. The first thing she brought out was a giant platter, kind of like the one you have on Thanksgiving here in the States, of whole mushrooms. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't stand mushrooms. So I pleasantly smiled, filled up my little like saucer teacup. Everybody had a saucer teacup, and took a normal sized portion, and I stuck the spoon or fork or whatever we were using in my mouth, and I was amazed. They were so good. I ate the whole plate and got seconds, and that's the time I realized that I just had never had mushrooms that were made right. Or maybe the couple times I had them, or one time I had them, they weren't right, didn't like the texture or whatever. And I went in and told her how wonderful her mushrooms were, and that I can't stand mushrooms, but I wanted to try them as a guest because I didn't want to insult her. You know, I basically let her know the truth, and that they were so good. I got a second helping, and I just can't believe mushrooms could be so good, and I thanked her because that was a good experience. So I try not to tell people what's in my food because I don't want to give them a preconceived idea, because maybe they didn't have a bad experience with pecan. Maybe they had a bad experience with pecans, you know. So they don't like walnuts. Maybe they had a bad experience with the walnuts. I don't know. I mean, who likes goat cheese? There's a lot of rednecks that don't want to eat cheese if it's soft. They want regular cheese. And there's a lot of blue necks and red necks and all kinds of necks. So, no, that wasn't bad. Now, 90% of people would be done making their quote-unquote 2024 salad because they'd opened the bag and tossed it in. And, you know, this is a little bit of therapy. Huh, what do we do here? Now, if you're not using plastics because of microplastics, what do I do for a solution for Glad wrap? I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I could use a wet rag. I think that's how they did it in the old days. Dampen a rag and lay it out over the bowl to keep it moist. That's a thought. Maybe I'll have to think about that. So, again, my sink was clean. I scoured the sink before prepping my kitchen. Sink's always clean, don't get me wrong, but I specifically scour it so that it is, I don't know, food grade ready. You know what I mean? If I drop something in the sink, I want it to be scoured so I would eat off the surface of the sink. I put this sink in. It's one of those farm sinks from IKEA. Especially recessed it here because I don't want the lip on it. Oh, let's do the onion. So the onion is something I don't like onion, people say. Well, don't know what to tell you because one time I made a salad and I put the onion in last and I made 2 or 3 portions of onions for the, I'll say weirdos, I'm going to offend you, people that didn't like onions because, they wanted to know what was in my salad and I wouldn't tell them. I said, don't worry, you'll like it. Well, people don't like hearing that. They want to control their environment. They want to know everything they're putting in their mouth. Heck, I had frog legs because I didn't ask what I was eating. I just wanted to enjoy the experience. So I make these 3 portions with no onion just to please the family at a big gathering. And the one guy that was going to make the salad, but that was what I was going to make, he didn't eat it, or he ate it and he didn't like not mushrooms, what was I just talking about? Oh, he didn't like onions. And I was like, well, I made one with no onions. Well, he was hard of hearing. He didn't hear me say that. So it was just pretty funny that as much as I tried to please everybody, you can't do it if the people are deaf and they didn't hear that anybody that doesn't like onions, here's a salad with no flavor, with no onions. So I'm just gonna make it. And let's see. So if you can do the onions so they're really small, people that don't like the flavor of onion, they can still tell. But that's okay. And if they don't eat it, that's fine. The nice thing is, I eat it all. I end up throwing all of this in a big Ziploc bag, plastic again, and heck, I can eat it the next day or 2, and it seems to get better over time. Like a couple days, it doesn't get mushy, but it gets more like a fresh, soupy, healthy salad. It doesn't have that crispness that a salad has, but it's still very flavorful and nutritious. And you eat a big old bowl of salad, it's definitely makes me happy than eating the okie dog I ate yesterday. That was a good okie dog. Some people are going to say in the comments, my favorite comment is, you talk too much. I love it. So, I've heard that before, I don't mind. If you don't appreciate the banter, or don't like it, or think it's objectionable, I appreciate the comment because it fuels the algorithm. So I'm probably talking an extra amount so that the haters will make the "you talk too much" comment. In addition to that, there's a mute button. If you're watching this and you're complaining that I'm talking too much, we have other issues. Because I can't even believe people are watching this, but I make it. I tend to watch a lot of YouTube videos. And the funny thing about watching YouTube videos is I'm watching people